Welcome to the Big D, Dallas, Texas. It's a Big 3 ball out. Last day of the regular season in the league, and we got the defending champions, Power, taking on the three-headed monsters inside the American Airlines Center. And we take a look here at the standings for the defending champs. It's an important game. They want to wrap up the 2 seed here, and for the three-headed monsters, they're trying to avoid their first losing season. Brian Custer alongside Jim Jackson. Important game again. Yep. If you're Power, the defending champ, you want to wrap up the 2 seed. You've already seen what the triplets have done. And for three-headed monsters, you've never had a losing season. You want to at least end the season at 500.
Well, let's start with the champs. It's all about, we talked about in the first game, the triplets, winning your game, but coming out relatively healthy.
Yes.
Not wanting more injuries. This team has been plagued all year with injuries, but yet and still they're in a position to compete for a title. And for three-headed monsters, it's all about respectability. You had some games early you lost and gave away. Now's an opportunity to knock off the number 2 team in the conference or in the league. So why not take advantage of it?
Yeah, let's get right to the rosters. They're brought to you by State Farm. And three-headed monsters, well, they're led by Rashard Lewis, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, and Reggie Evans. And for Power, well, Corey Maggete was the MVP last season. Big baby Glenn Davis. And they've got a new addition, Jeremy Pargo, who's going to get the start. And for Corey Maggete, this is his kind of game. Dealing with a little shoulder injury, but had 19 points last week, Jim Jackson. He scored 16-plus in all 4 games he's played this season.
Well, when he's healthy, he's dynamic, kind of like Joe Johnson, tough to stop, demands the attention of the opposing team, double teams come, and then smartly, he has the knowledge and wherewithal to make plays for his teammates, knowing that they can complete the play. And Coutinho Mobley is out this game. I see him in nicely dressed suit.
And Power's led by Lady Magic. She was the Big 3 Coach of the Year last year, Nancy Lieberman. She led them to the Big 3 title. Three-headed monsters, their head coach, the Hall of Famer, the Glove, Gary Payton. They want to avoid their first losing season. And GP, are you with me? He's with Michael Rappaport.
All right, I'm with the Hall of Famer, Gary Payton, who's wearing, I don't know, what color is this shirt today, Gary?
You can say fuchsia if you want to. Now, you know purple is a great color, because you know what it means, right?
What?
Royalty. That's what it is. I'm royalty. But you see this. Always got a curtain on. You always got a curtain on. Hey, man, this is the worst, man. And he's still acting like he in the Beverly Hillbillies or somebody. Man, I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
Yo, listen, you guys are trying to avoid your first losing season. You need this win. You need some other teams to do different things. What are you guys going to do to pull out this victory?
First of all, Rap, all we have to do is just win. We just got to come and play hard, man. This is the defending champions. If we beat them, we'll just let it fall in everybody's hands. You see, the Ball Hogs did a good thing for us. They beat some guys and make them 4-4. We just got to just hope for help now and help ourselves first.
You remember that movie Prince was in? He sang that song Purple Rain?
Yeah, that's Purple Rain. Purple rain, purple rain.
Guys, this is my guy right here.
That's right. That's right, baby.
Gary Payton unplugged.
The purple rain.
Yes.
Showing off the lungs right there for GP.
Hey, how about this? It's the ring ceremony for Power. Our last season's champions getting the rings, getting the Dr. J trophy as well as Power having the award ceremony right here on the court. Quentin Richardson getting his ring from Jeff Quatnitz, one of the owners of the league, along with Ice Cube.
Next we got Xavier Silas. Come on out, Xavier.
The GM of the league, Clyde the Glide Drexler.
And last but not least, we got Ryan Gomes. Is Ryan in the building? Ryan Gomes. He's not here.
Power
and
now 5-2.
For Team Power, the guy responsible for all this
Lost just one game
team.
all of last season and won it all. Looking to repeat. And there's Corey Maggete. MVP from last season, getting his ring, and congratulations.
Nancy, a couple of words from you.
It's just amazing that with the injuries, especially early in the season with Quentin Richardson, Cuttino Mobley, even with Corey Maggete, that this team is still in the position that they're in. I mean, made some additions, bringing over, you see Pargo, Carlos Boozer, to beef it up a little bit more. This team has always, I think, especially last year and the beginning of this year, the strength of the team was the ability for them to play within the system, not do too much, listen to the coaching from Nancy Lieberman, apply that on the court, and play unselfish, and that's why they were able to win it. And it's still consistency within this team right now. As long as they stay healthy, it'd be a battle down the end with the triplets.
And you know, the interesting thing about this game, if they don't win it, they could fall as low as the 3 seed. So it's an important game for Power as well, as they want to wrap up the 2 seed. They had a 3-game win streak until it was snapped last week. And you talked about it, Jim, injuries. Corey Maggete, he's playing with a shoulder injury, but he said, listen, we've had too many guys out. Cuttino Mobley has a torn calf, so he's done for the season. Quentin Richardson has an ankle injury. They went and got Carlos Boozer. They got Jeremy Pargo as they try to do it all again and go back-to-back. But first, it's about wrapping up the number 2 seed, and they need a victory here against the 3-headed monsters.
Yeah, and it's tough, too, because...
And you forget about Birdman, who was the Defensive Player of the Year. Tears his ACL a couple weeks ago.
And that's what I'm saying is, like, irreplaceable parts sometimes. Chris Anderson didn't put up huge numbers, but what he did with energy, effort, and he was a rim protector, it's really hard to replace that. Cuttino Mobley, his ISO ability to create shots in situation in tight spaces
and be a facilitator.
You can't replace, but when you add, that's why when you make trades, that's when coaching comes in and understanding personnel and players and how they fit into your team. Because the people that you bring in have to have the same kind of mindset of winning, playing together, and add value in order for you to repeat if you're Power. So let's see how those new pieces with Pargo and Booth, continue to work, see if they work out. Because to me, that's the important part if they're going to repeat Power, if they want to repeat as champions.
So Corey Maggete, Glenn Big Baby Davis, and Jeremy Pargo are your starters for Power. Rashard Lewis, Reggie Evans, and Mario Chalmers. Here's Big Baby. Pargo, seeing his first action. Maggete, fadeaway. Evans, rebounding leader.
Yeah, quite a scout. Whenever we said this, the battle that I'm looking forward to see is Reggie Evans and Big Baby Davis inside.
Absolutely.
I mean, seriously. But both of them, you see a shot right there. To me, because they're so physical, they got to maintain their composure. Because then it can go the other side where it hurts you if you allow the emotions to get in the way and take away from what you're ultimately supposed to do on the basketball court.
Pargo! Oh, with the left hand, and lays it in.
How about Pargo right there with the part in the side of the head right there?
I do like that, too.
That's going back to the 70s
yes,
right
it
there.
Is.
When you had hair back then. Right? You got the baldy now, but I know back then you had the fro going on. I had to get that one in there.
Shots fired.
I had to get that one in my man.
Shots fired. Maggete, the Pargo. And Pargo, the fadeaway. And here's Rio for 3. In and out, Rashard Lewis, the offensive glass.
Now the ability.
And it will be Power basketball.
Yeah, but the ability right here for Pargo with the quickness still to be able to get to the rim and then use his offhand softly off the glass. Again, those kind of contributions right there, especially in a guard perspective, because you want to have a guard that can knock down shots, but also to break down the defense and speed them up, breaking down the defense.
Corey Maggete hits that 3. Chalmers right down the tollway, lays it in.
Yeah, a little miscommunication by Corey Maggete and Pargo on that, whether they were to switch, and Chalmers probably the easiest 2 that he'll see right there.
And Pargo again lays it in. Pargo is undrafted, comes out of Gonzaga, very athletic. In fact, his brother Gennaro is on the triplets, and we had a great discussion about him. He said, listen, my brother, very athletic, he's strong, but he will attack the basket. And you see it right there, on the dribble, off the glass, Pargo.
And see what you do when you're a shorter player against a taller defender, what you do is negate their height by keeping them off balance. And that time, Rashard Lewis was trying to anticipate the moves. Pargo able to keep him off balance and get inside.
That three is good by Mario Chalmers. Here's Maggete. Inside the big baby, working on Rashard Lewis. Turns, powers his way to the cup. And he will go to the line. That's a big man to try to hold back.
You think? I mean, it's very easy to say, well, you can't allow Big Baby Davis to get this kind of position. But then I'll be speaking crazy because he's going to power you, get his position. But what I love about him is not just the power, the ability to have finesse, the footwork, and then the soft touch around the basket. That's a rare combination for a gentleman of that ilk, of that girth, of that size.
He hits 1 of 2 from the line. 6-point lead for Power. Now Reggie Evans wants to work on Big Baby. Stripped but fouled by Corey Maggete.
And honestly, Corey probably didn't have to come down and slap at it, because that was going to be a tough shot inside for Reggie Evans to complete right here to try to go up.
Oh, they're going to call it on Big Baby now.
They called it, well, you take your pick.
Yeah, really. So here's Reggie Evans shooting 1 of 2.
It was an interesting conversation it was during the first game between Reggie Evans and Mario Chalmers, comparing which league was better overall.
Yeah, the Big 12,
Big 12 or the Big 10.
Yes, I heard him. They even got Charles Oakley into the discussion.
All of it. And at the end of it, not at the end, but Mario Chalmers, we were talking about, championship games. He said, listen, I hit the shot. Okay, so my name is up in there as one of the players out of the Big 12. But it's interesting when you talk about that, because it's like, every player has their league as the best league.
Right. Count it, and 1 by Sweet Lou Rashard Lewis.
You're talking about tough to guard. We saw a lot of this from Rashard Lewis the first year before his injury. His ability to get into the lane and then elevate over the top. See 13 points, 6 rebounds.
Offensive glass by Reggie. And they kick out to Rashard. And Big Baby. Put him down on the court. Now these two had a little something going earlier in the season. Remember when we were doing their game? They had a little back and forth.
Well, it's, again, 2 competitors that play physical. Now, is that 2 fouls on Big Baby?
Now,
because if he picks up that third, he has to sit.
That's what he was saying. I only got 1 foul, and you heard Cantino Moment said, listen, we're just giving you a sub. Don't worry about it. Here's Chalmers. And Reggie Evans pulled down by Carlos Boozer. 2-point lead for Power. First team to 25 ago that they have.
Yeah, and and sitting here, it's hard. It's easy to say you can't get caught up in the physical nature with Reggie because he's going to tempt you to get involved. But when you're out there playing, you don't want to get pumped. You know what I mean? You want to be able to compete and play hard and then show Reggie, too, that you're just not going to be able to maneuver me around the court at will. So you still have to play smart basketball when you're playing against Reggie Evans because he'll frustrate you.
Here's Evans with the board. Leads the Big 3 in rebounding. It's Chalmers. Knocked it down for 4. Mario Chalmers. And just like that, the 3-headed Monsters take a 2-point lead over Power. It's the Big 3 here in the Big D on CBS. Ice Cube Show, the Big Three's got its own show. Check out all about the Big Three for interviews, recaps, player profiles, and more. New episodes premiere every Thursday on the CBS Sports Network. Speaking of unprecedented access, the third member of our team, Michael Rappaport, he's with the cat.
What are you saying, Coutinho?
I just don't understand why you want to be annoying right now. You see what I'm doing?
Coutinho.
You see what I'm doing? Do I look like Scalabrine? Would you please get away from me right now?
But I just wanted to talk to you about your suit.
No, are you sweating?
Coutinho.
For me, please. Please, go over there.
Coutinho Mobley has on a pinstripe suit and thinks he's all that. I don't know why. I don't know why he decided to rock pinstripe suit on a Saturday. Mr. Mobley, is there what is the reason for the pinstripe suit today on a Saturday? Okay.
Attack!
Jimmy Jackson, can you share some insight into the mindset of this guy?
Nope. At all. That is uniquely different.
Yes, he is.
In a great way.
Yes. Yes.
Clean, though.
He is clean.
He looks sharp.
Yeah.
He looks, bust his shoes up, bust his shoes.
Unprecedented access. Michael, ooh, those Gators, too. We got the Gators on? I see you, Cat. Well, right now, his team down 2 as they try to lock up the second seed. And Corey Maggete will go to the line shooting 1 for 2. Good. We're all tied up. First team to 25. We go to the half. And 20 is usually the magic number for power. Only twice this season they've failed to reach 20 points in a half. They lost both of those games.
Yeah.
Here's Maggete. To Boozer. He'll pull. Left is short though. Maggete. Too strong. They're going to call Boozer over the back?
Yeah, 2 good looks right there. Booz falling back a little bit on that jump shot off the pick and pop. And then Corey having the opportunity to knock it in, but did not. And you see the physical play right here, and Booz over the back. Knocks it out of bounds. But they did call a loose ball foul on Carlos Boozer.
Chalmers inbound in the basketball. He's the high scorer right now in the game with 11. That 3 short by Al Thornton. And here's Pargo. He's got 8. Oh, there's a push off by Booz. Even he's got a smile about that one.
Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, absolutely. Larry Sanders will check in for the three-headed monsters. Reggie Evans will get his first blow. So will Julian Wright for power. He usually comes in and gives them energy. He can shoot it, play in the post. He's guarding Sanders. Sanders sets the pick for Rio. He drives. Thought he was going to get a foul. And Sanders gets the foul with the follow-up. That will be on Julian Wright.
Yeah, Chalmers that time initiated some contact, but a swipe down at the end is keep an eye on Pargo right there. But it wasn't a bad no call by the official because Chalmers kind of leaned into Pargo a little bit more, initiated that contact, which resulted into a missed shot.
Here's Larry Sanders shooting 1 for 2. Too strong. Quentin Richardson checking into the game with the board. Pargo thought about the 4. Spins off the glass. Count it and 1. Jeremy Pargo seeing his first action, and Pargo going to work.
Well, you can see the difference already that Pargo makes on the court because of his quickness. You talked about his ability to get inside deep and then finish through contact. That gives you a different dimension if you're Nancy Lieberman in regards to how you position Pargo on the court via the pick and roll or isolation situations, because his quickness allows him to get to the basket, draw defenders, and either score or make a play for his teammates.
Pargo now with 11 points for Power. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf checks in for the three-headed monsters. He's got the rock now. Here's Mahmoud, drops it off to Sanders. And he kisses it off the glass. 1 point lead for Power. First team to 25, we go to the half. Pargo. Spinning again. That shot blocked by Sanders.
Yeah, good help.
And puts it right back up and in. And the three-headed monsters now with a 1 point lead. And back and forth we go.
And that's just great awareness by Sanders that time by not staying married to the weak side of the court, able to rotate over and take that shot away from Pargo.
Here's too rich. Rejected by Sanders and get that shot out of here.
But don't we expect this kind of defense from a team that's led by Gary Payton? I mean, and that's when you talk to Gary, his biggest frustration, he said, listen, you're going to make and miss shots. But one thing we can be is a very good defensive team, and we haven't been consistent in that area. Hence, 3 and 4 coming into this game is the record.
Here's Mahmoud. Thought about the three. Gives it up to Thornton. Thornton. Hezzy. Pull up. No. Here's Pargo. He's got 11. Drop off the right. He missed it. Mahmoud for 3. Yes! Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. What a game he had last week for the three-headed monsters. Had 13 points. Had a season-high 14 the previous game. Three-headed monsters 3 points away from the half. Here's Pargo. The lob.
Okay.
Ooh. Here's Mahmoud. Thornton working on too rich. Drives. Lays it in. Three-headed monsters a point away from the half.
I like the fact that the three-headed monsters are not just settling for jump shots. They're attacking this power team off the dribble.
Here's too rich. Working on Mahmoud in the post. Banks it home. So a bucket by the monsters. We go to the half. They're trying to finish the regular season up at 500. Stolen by Wright. Too rich. Lays it in. And we're all tied up at 24.
We go back and play the pick and roll. Always tough to guard in the middle of the court, especially when you have a shooter spaced out in the corner. And how about the timing of when to throw it by Pargo to Wright?
Sanders shot, a pass, stolen. Mahmoud had it, lost it. Pargo to the rim. And he will go to the line, shooting 1 for 2.
A great hustle by both teams. Sanders could have had it underneath for an easy 2, just not able to get the handle. As a result, Pargo able to pick it up, penetrate on the baseline to pick up the foul. So he can knock it down to give his team the halftime lead.
Yes, he does. And Power up 2 as we go to the half. Led by Jeremy Pargo. His 13. Monsters 24. Power 26. It's the Big 3 here on CBS. Back in Dallas inside the American Airlines Center. Power taking on three-headed monsters. And Power with a 2-point lead. Brian Custer alongside Jim Jackson. You know, Power ended that first half on a 6-0 run, and it's really been the battle of guards. Mario Chalmers and Jeremy Pargo, who's playing for the first time for Power and really giving them a boost.
A big boost because his ability to break down the defense. You're talking about it in the first half. The guards making big plays with Mario Chalmers stepping up, 4-point shot. Not shy to shoot the big shot as we know, but also the ability to break down the defense and get a layup inside. But it's in contrast, what Pargo has been able to do is really just get to the teeth and the heart of this three-headed monsters defense and make them pay for not having the quickness out front to maintain the control to keep him out of the lane.
Well, the heart and soul of the defense of the three-headed monsters is Reggie Evans. He's with our Michael Rappaport.
All right, more unprecedented access with three-headed monster Reggie Evans. You guys need this win to make the playoffs. What are you, Reggie Evans, going to do to pull this out in the second half?
We just got to continue to make our defense, focus on defense. Because right now we got Pargo having a good game, so I got to do a better job of, talking to my guards. As far as like if they come up and pick and rolls and stuff like that. So that's some of the biggest things, is just bringing that energy.
Well, what is it about Pargo why he's getting so loose today?
Fresh body.
I say you put him, maybe introduce him to a forearm shiver.
Well, we go play within the guidelines and stuff. So, hopefully he'll slow down. But at the same time, you still got Corey Maggete on the team.
If you were playing against a guy like, let's say, Jimmy Jackson with his attitude, would you want to, knock his head off?
That's my Big 10 brother. Nah, I ain't going to knock his head off. That's my brother right there.
Okay. I would. Right. Guys?
Thanks for having me.
I mean, what is it with you, Mike? I mean, you woke up on the wrong side of the bed. You got an issue with me?
No, I'm just saying. I just like saying, like Reggie Evans is a tough guy.
No, but I'm saying.
If I was out there playing and you came in there with enough to form, let me see what you're made of, Mr. Big 10.
Listen, but I'm sitting here doing my job over here, but you continue to bring my name up in conversations when you do interviews, and I'm just trying to understand what the issue is. Exactly. Exactly. Grab a seat.
Sorry, Jimmy.
Yeah, grab a seat.
Sorry.
Tied at 26. First team to 50 wins. Pargo for 4. As the shot clock expired.
Yeah. Interesting. We talked about how well Chalmers played in the first half.
Man. God, dog.
I know, man. Mike got me all discombobulated right now. You see another good word?
Yes.
Discombobulated. I got them both in. But how about Gary Payton starting Mahmoud in the second half instead of Chalmers?
Wants some scoring. He can give you that. Well, as he misses that 3. Pargo. Good body control, but here's Big Baby. Maggete open, knocks it down. 2-point lead for Power. Again, with a victory for Power, they wrap up the 2 seed in the playoffs. Oh, did he walk? Yes, he did.
Got kind of caught in between because not comfortable shooting the shot at the free throw line. You saw Al Thornton kind of cutting back door, so he's at an in-between stage and just couldn't make the right decision, hence traveling. But Gary Payton rewarded Larry Sanders for the excellent first half. Actually, the game turned around when he got in there by starting him in the second.
Kick out. Maggete. 3. No. Here's Thornton. Knocks it down. That 3 is good. And the lead is 1 for the three-headed monsters. A loss by Power. They could fall as far as to the 3 seed as Maggete challenges.
Yeah, he can't believe for the second time he didn't get a foul called.
Thornton misses. Here's Maggete.
If he would have get that a jump ball, Corey right now is just.
He said, can I
get something? Please? Yeah, can I get something? It's been 3 plays where he's, had some contact. The officials did not call him right.
Man, that's big boy basketball there. Headed Monsters trying to end the season at 500 at 4-4 and keep their playoff hopes alive. Here's Pargo for 3. Yes, needed it. 2-point lead for Power. First team to 50 wins. You got to win by 2. Rashard Lewis, the handoff to Chalmers.
Fresh off the bench.
Reggie Evans, the offensive glass, and pushed by Big Baby Davis. And he better not argue that call.
Oh, man. That's a lot of beef down there battling, man. And not a lot of space to work with on that baseline either between those two.
Here's Reggie going at Big Baby. Turns, left hand, yes. And gives Big Baby a little shove at the end. Keep your eye on those 2.
Yeah.
Here's Pargo again for 3, short. Evans tried to save it but stepped out.
You know, one thing Nancy was really good with Big Baby is putting him in a position off the pick and roll where he was sliding to the basket. Now he was able to, because he has such soft hands to catch, carry him, and finish. We haven't seen a lot of that movement with him right now, especially with Pargo. So I think those two would be a deadly combination in regards to a pick and roll, especially in the middle of the court.
Pargo for 4, block. Reggie Evans lays it in. Two-point lead for the three-headed monsters. Maggete open for 3.
Can't go under. And Rashard Lewis knows it. That time, off that pick and roll, Lewis chose to go under, gave Maggete way too much space. And again, that rhythm dribble allowed Corey to square up his shoulders and knock in that 3.
Inside, they go to Reggie Evans. Boozer had that right hand around him.
But that's just activity, too. See, activity picked up that foul on Boozer. Okay, the pick and roll, the hard screen, the hard roll, that kept Boozer on Evans' back, which hence he had to recover, receives the ball, picks up the foul.
So here's Reggie Evans, leads the league in rebounding at 11 a game. And knocks down the free throw. And the lead is again 1 for the three-headed monsters as this one goes back and forth with the lead changes. Pargo had it knocked away, got it back, missed it.
Well, that's the help right there that Evans was talking about, that he has to communicate more but be there for his guards when Pargo gets down the lane.
And a reach in by Boozer. Julian Wright will come in for Boozer. Here's Chalmers. Rashard Lewis for 3, yes! Oh, the three-headed monsters now with a 4-point lead. First team to 50 wins it. Three-headed monsters trying to get the 500, keep the playoff hopes alive. Power looking to wrap up the 2 seed to finish when we come back. CBS from Nolans. As we take a look at the standings, and I tell you, Power and the three-headed monsters, all these guys will be rooting hard for Trilogy, who will be coming up later. Three-headed monsters trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. Power trying to wrap up this 2 seed. They're down 4, though. They're the defending champs. They go inside the Big Baby. Waits, powers his way to a bucket.
And what was it? It was the pick and roll.
And did he hurt himself? Oh. Man, we have talked about how they cannot afford injuries, especially not to Big Baby. Maggette's working with the shoulder. Coutinho Mobley has a torn calf. He's out for the season. Quentin Richardson has an ankle injury. He's playing, trying to play through. Birdman is out with ACL tear. Let's take another look.
And see what happens after the play as he comes down, right? Almost like a hyperextension right there on the back. And that's a lot of weight coming down and stretching out, because it happened right here on the back end of the play. Watch his left leg, hip, right there. You see, right there. And sometimes it doesn't seem like it's a lot to it, but it is, because your body is torqued a different way, and there's a lot more pressure placed on the hip and the lower extremities. And that time, Big Baby caught the blunt of it. Hopefully,
he's getting helped up here. Looks like he's going to walk off on his own power here. And that is great news for Power.
Yeah. Again, coming down awkwardly like that.
As he gets some help, and he'll head to the bench. We'll try to find out from Michael Rappaport and from the trainers whether or not that injury is in the hip area for Big Baby. And he's going to go back to the locker room. So as we resume play, Big Baby getting help, going back to the locker room. It's a 2-point lead for the three-headed monsters. Let's bring in our Michael Rappaport.
All right, unprecedented access here. Unfortunately, Glenn Big Baby Davis doesn't look like he's going to be making it back to this game. You know, he's a big guy, strong guy. Word on the street here is that it's a hyperextension, but he hasn't been diagnosed yet. I just hope that he makes it back for the rest of the season. One of the big personalities and one of the great players of the Big Three, and everybody wants to see Big Baby at least make it back for New Orleans. Lord knows that the power team needs it. There's been some controversy over and so the game is very tense, very physical, and we need to keep tempers in control. And it's unprecedented access over here, and as you can tell, it's unprecedented access. By the way, guys.
1-point lead for the three-headed monsters. Chalmers in the lane, and he will go to the line. So here's Rio. Won those championships with the Miami Heat, with LeBron, D-Wade. Had 9 points last week. In fact, he's had at least 9 in the last 5 games for the three-headed monsters. Knocks down the 2 free throws. And now the three-headed monsters 8 points away from victory.
Yeah, it's interesting how an injury can take kind of the breath out of not only the stadium but the team itself. And the Powers have had to figure out a way to kind of gather their thoughts.
Woo. As Rio knocks down another 3. And they're 5 points away from victory. And a 500 record. It keeps their playoff hopes alive. Maggete, the MVP last year. Drives, dishes, stripped from Boozer. Lewis, yes.
I think they might call a foul early. Before he got the second, Lewis got the second shot up on Corey Maggete. Let's take a look on the drive by Maggete. Loses it inside. Booz not able to handle it. Rio inside, and right there is what they called the foul.
Quentin Richardson will check in for Power as Pargo will get her some rest. Here's Rashard Lewis shooting 1 for 2.
Yeah, well, it's to be a big, I mean, it's, you know, we talk about movement day, and that's what it is today. You stressed it at the beginning of our telecast in regards to the number of teams that still see themselves and have put themselves in the position to be in a playoff hunt. And, you know, with this victory, if the three-headed monsters can solidify it, you go to 4-4. There's going to be a bunch of teams, depending on what happens for the rest of the day, going to be right there.
Yep. You know, monsters on that 14-5 run, Jim, and a 3 could win it for them. Maggete lays it in, and he'll go to the line, and they're not done yet.
No, the champs still there, kind of fighting and clawing their way into it. And at the end of this play, that was just a tough shot by Rashard Lewis, and Maggete inside, and Reggie Evans late on the help commits the foul.
6-point lead for the three-headed monsters. And Corey Maggete will be going to the line trying to complete a 3-point play. Power looking to wrap up a 2 seed. Let's go inside the huddle with their head coach, Nancy Lieberman.
You know, what's interesting, too, we're going to see right here if Power's in the penalty, because that foul by Reggie Evans, this team is down 6, make the free throw, get the ball back. See, sometimes you got to know when to kind of let it. That play was already going to be 2 points by Maggete.
Yeah.
Now you pick up that foul, and if I'm reading this correct, 6 fouls. I don't think yet they're in the penalty.
Here's Maggete.
But rebound.
Yep.
Bulls got the rebound.
Maggete fakes it, drives, yes! And he'll go to the line again. All of a sudden, the lead is 4.
Well, completing the puzzle, so to speak, for three-headed monster to finish out this game. You give up an opportunity inside with Maggete on the layup on the foul, the offensive rebound, and then the recovery. Maggete now finds himself back at the free throw line.
And gets that one. It's just 3. Got to win by 2. Monsters can have point game with a 3. Here's Rio to Rashard Lewis. The dump off to Reggie Evans.
And I like that, because you didn't have to force a 3. Okay? You take what the defense gives you, and if that's a 2-point shot, then take it, because now you can reset your defense, get a stop, and then win the game on your next offensive possession.
Here's Maggete. All the way, as you talked about. They say, hey, we'll give you that, concede that. We have point game here.
That's right.
Lead is 3. Monsters can win it with a bucket. And Power's going to call timeout. So if you're the three-headed monsters, who do you look to?
Well, the ball has been in Mario's hands in regards to decision-making, whether that's the pick and roll with Rashard Lewis. I would put the 2 of them in the middle of the court. Allow now the defense have to make a decision, because Mario has shown the ability right now to come off the dribble, knock down shot or step back. And, of course, with Rashard, his pick-and-pop game puts the defense in a tough situation. So how do you play and defend the pick and roll? I'm going to put that onus on Power to have to shut that duo down if I'm GP.
Chalmers has got 16. Evans has got 12. Rashard Lewis has 7. And this is why it's important. A victory for the three-headed monsters. They keep their playoff hopes alive. And for Power, listen, a loss, all of a sudden they can fall down to the 3 seed as opposed to the 2 seed with a victory. Here's Chalmers. Point game coming. Off the pick. Step back in the lane. In and out.
Guess who?
Rashard Lewis. Chalmers for the win. Count it. Point game for the three-headed monsters in Rio. The three-headed monsters in the regular season at 4-4. More importantly, their playoff hopes stay alive. Power has now dropped 2 straight. They fall to 5-3 and could find themselves as the 3 seed now, as opposed to the 2 seed.
Well, it was a pick and roll in the middle of the lane that got Chalmers down the lane the first time to kind of shrink the defense, and now off the offensive rebound, Power wasn't matched up, unbalanced defense. And didn't we see something like this from Chalmers before?
Yeah,
in a big game?
Yes, we did.
So what a victory. And I'm going to go back to the first half. I thought Larry Sanders in the first half had a very big impact on the game. Defensively, this team was much better throughout the course of the game, which allowed them to walk away with a much-needed victory.
Reggie Evans had 12, Rashard Lewis 7, Mario Chalmers 19. He had the big shot here in Big D, and their head coach, all of them are with Michael Rappaport.
All right, I'm with Rashard Lewis, Gary Payne, and Reggie Evans. You guys are still alive, okay? How do you feel? How do you feel, Rashard?
I feel great after a win. You know, winning solves everything. So we got the win today, and I'm happy about that.
Coach, you guys, your teams have never lost. You've got winning seasons every year. What does it mean to fall into the playoffs hopefully this year?
Well, it's just good. I wish that we were playing like this 4 weeks ago because we wouldn't even be in this situation. But I'm glad that they're doing what they're doing right now. And we ain't going to lose all the time anyway.
You're a Hall of Famer. You were a great player. You're a great coach. When you say wish that the team had played like this the whole time, what goes into that? What is it about a team playing good, not playing good, and finding their rhythm now?
Well, I think these 2 games we played as one. We wasn't worried about a lot of other stuff. We've been worried about the referees a lot. These 2 weeks we didn't worry about nothing, and we played the way we supposed to play. When we get mad, we don't play the way we supposed to. When we play freely and open the way we do it right now, we are a hard team to beat. We're probably one of the best teams in this league, and that's what we show. We show that right now, that we are one of the best teams in this league.
I like that. Reggie, you've had a great season. You've had a great run with this team. What does it mean to be playing with these guys and being coached by the glove?
It feels good, because this how I started out.
Explain that.
I started out because when I made the team in Seattle, just who was in front of me, so everybody know I'm at the glove, but that's my cap, you know what I'm saying? It's been like that since day one. And Rashard, that's like my brother, you know what I'm saying? So for us to reunite, it's good, so can't do nothing but just keep on moving forward.
All right, well, I hope you guys make it to the playoffs. Hopefully we'll be eating some beignets next week in the Big Easy, you guys. Fellas, that's what you call unprecedented access. I have it. You don't.
Except when it comes to Cuttino Mobley. As we take a look at the standings, big win for the three-headed monsters. Now all they have to do is sit and watch the enemies. Killer threes, they're coming up. That could affect whether or not the three-headed monsters get in. Trilogy later on, taking on Three's Company. That will have effect as well. Power loses. They're now 5-3. We got more action from the Big D when we come back.